Welcome back. In today's video, let's predict the latest plot of Emmerdale confirms who attacked Caleb Milligan. Police officers DS Raveley and DC Croft were narrowing down their suspect list on Tuesday, June 20th, episode of Emmerdale as they tried to find out who pushed Caleb Milligan off a ridge and left him for dead. At the start of the episode, Caleb was still in an induced coma and doctors had warned Chaz that they were just taking things a day at a time, and it still wasn't certain whether Caleb would fully recover. In the police station, prime suspect Mackenzie Boyd seemed to be digging himself into a deeper hole with everything he said, and the police were becoming more and more convinced that they'd got the culprit. With Chloe beginning to have doubts about the sort of man she was in a relationship with, it seemed to be only Charity who completely believed that Mackenzie wouldn't be capable of such a violent action. Meanwhile, the other suspects were being ruled out, with Will already out of the frame. Layla went to the police and told them that she'd been in Houghton thinking about buying drugs when Caleb was pushed. Luckily, she had a parking ticket with the time on it to support her story. To her relief, the police said that Jacob would never find out where she'd been. As far as the police are concerned, Kane is still a suspect, but viewers discovered that he had a very innocent alibi for where he was on the night. He was walking Zach's dog Monty. Apart from Mac, it seemed that everyone was accounted for, but at the hospital Caleb had an unexpected visitor. His son Nicky, who vanished from the village shortly after calling off the wedding to Gabby and revealing that he's Caleb's son and was part of the plot. Charity, who was at the hospital with Chaz, summed up the change in Nicky's status. Gone from Gabby's fashion accessory to the dizzy heights of Dingledom, she said. Nicky looked understandably shocked to see his father unconscious and on a ventilator. Chaz and Charity filled him in on what had happened and then left him to have some time alone with Caleb. And as Nicky sat by his dad's bedside in tears, he made his confession. "I thought I'd killed you," he said. So the mystery attacker was Nicky, but did he mean to kill Caleb? It's complicated, according to Lewis Cope. "I think the moment he pushes him, he feels massive regret," he told us. But also a mix of relief, just because he's felt as though his dad's manipulated him for so long and obviously betrayed him. But he still loves his dad, and it would be tragic if he was to die, and if they find out it was him, he could go to prison. But if they also didn't find out it was Nicky, then there could be relief there as well. So what exactly happened on the ridge when Caleb fell? Lewis explained that a lot of what went through Nicky's mind was the way Caleb had treated his mum. As he's coming back into the village, he finds out that Caleb has now bought Mill Cottage, and not only bought it, but he's given him over asking price. He's always had more than enough money. He lied to Nicky to say that he had no money and that my mum was going to lose her house, and the reason we were getting revenge was to look after my mum. So he just lied to me all the way through, and it's only at that point that I realize and find out that information. I then follow him into the woods. I think it's just a spur of the moment. He's backed into a corner, he feels betrayed, hurt, and something just comes over him. He makes a decision and anger gets the better of him. So now viewers know the truth, but will Nicky face punishment for what he did? Could he end up on a murder charge if Caleb dies?
Vừa rồi các bạn đã theo dõi một sản phẩm của UK Soát Spoiler. Chúng tôi đã tiết lộ những tình tiết mới nhất của bộ phim Eastenders sẽ xảy ra trong tuần tiếp theo. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở video tiếp theo. Ngoài ra trên kênh của chúng tôi cũng có các video về các bộ phim như Eastenders, Hollyoaks cũng như Coronation.